साहेबांकडून टोल घेणार साहेबां.
नमस्कार. तुम्हालाही नमस्कार. आधीच माफी मागतो. कसं आहे, तुमची निवड आणि आमची आवड फार वेगळी आहे, त्यामुळे तुमचे काळे धंदे आम्ही उघडे करू. आता तुमच्या चांगल्या कामाचं कौतुकही करू बरं का. नाही, कसं आहे, महाराष्ट्राला पुन्हा महा करायचं असेल तर आम्ही असेच वागणार. आपलं एकमेव निष्पक्ष वृत्तपत्र महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स.
Namaskar. I'm Professor Srinivas Samant, President, Vigyan Bharati, Konkan Prant. I heartily welcome you all for today's program. Vigyan Bharati, fondly called as VIVA, is a national organization dedicated to Swadeshi Vigyan. That is, it is a Swadeshi science movement. In the country, we function through our 36 prants. We undertake many activities. Our main thrust is fusion of modern science with our rich ancient wisdom. We work for popularization of science in all the strata of the society. For this, one of the means is to take science to the masses through regional languages. We try to instill scientific attitude among the students. Vidyarthi Vigyan Manthan is our flagship program. To generate interest in science among the students and to make them familiar with the contribution of Indian scientists, we conduct a national competition under this program and encourage the students. More than 1 lakh of students take this examination every year. We organize science fairs, the main being the famous International Indian Science Fair, IISF, to showcase the scientific achievements of our country. Currently, we are implementing a project, Ahar Kranti. After studying the food habits of Indian people from different regions, we would like to make them aware of the nutritional value of the food they eat. For science teachers, we implement a program called Shiksha Shilpi, in which experts conduct lectures for the teachers on content and pedagogy. Friends, the coming 15th August is the 75th Independence Day of our country, and the year beginning with that is 15th August 2021, is the 75th year of independence. Our country has decided to celebrate it as a Swatantrata Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Our Honorable Prime Minister has initiated it on 12th March 2021 and declared that during the 75 weeks after this, it will be celebrated through various programs. Vigyan Bharati has decided to celebrate Swatantrata Ka Amrit Mahotsav according to our objectives. The main focus will be bringing forth the contribution of Indian scientists towards the freedom struggle, nation building, and laying the foundation of modern science in our country. We would like to enlighten the public about these unsung heroes who, using scientific tools and knowledge, spearheaded towards Indianness and independence together. This should motivate our young to achieve high goals. We will organize lectures, discussions, competitions, exhibition, and so on. On the ensuing 17th August which is coming, we will initiate this program. We request you all to associate with Vigyan Bharati and participate in this program. For last 1 year, we all have been suffering due to the prevailing COVID-19 pandemic. Many aspects of this pandemic are still not known. We saw this in yesterday's interview with Dr. Sanjay Oak. Some aspects have been understood. And more importantly, we have an experience of more than a year of fighting this pandemic. In keeping with our objectives, Vigyan Bharati, we have arranged this 3 days lecture series to educate people about COVID-19 pandemic. We have organized this program with the famous #1 Marathi daily Maharashtra Times as a partner. Maharashtra Times has a wide reach and thus the message can go to masses. We wish our partnership will continue on many fronts. In this series, we will try to get acquainted with COVID-19 related issues through experts. Yesterday, we had an excellent and educative interview of Dr. Sanjay Oak, Head COVID Task Force, Government of Maharashtra, taken by senior journalist Mr. Santosh Andre. Today, Professor Sandeep Juneja, TIFR, will be interviewed by senior journalist Mr. Neeraj Pandit. And tomorrow, a lecture by Dr. Shubhangi Parker has been arranged. We request all of you to take maximum advantage of this lecture series and spread this. With this request, I hand over the proceedings of today's program to Padnis Madam. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Saman, for giving a brief introduction about various ongoing activities conducted by Vigyan Bharati and also about the upcoming events for the celebration of the Swatantrata Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Besides these ongoing activities, Vigyan Bharati, also called as Vibha, undertakes activities for popularization and promotion of science. As the country is reeling under COVID-19 pandemic, there is a lot of concern about the extended lockdowns, restrictions imposed, and the high death rates associated with the second wave. There is a looming threat in the minds of the people about the upcoming third wave. Circulation of myths also creates confusion and apprehensions in the minds of people. In this situation, Vigyan Bharati felt it essential to organize talks with experts in the field to understand the epidemiology of this pandemic, the pattern of spread and control adopted during the first and second wave of the pandemic, and guidelines for enhancing preparedness for the upcoming third wave. In our endeavor to reach out to all cross sections of the society, we are thankful to Mr. Parag Karandikar, Chief Editor, Maharashtra Times, to give us this platform for disseminating this valuable guidance given by the experts. Yesterday, our first session, Dr. Sanjay Oak explained the ground realities of the ongoing pandemic and gave the message of how wearing of mask and observing COVID guidelines is imperative to minimize its spread. Today, we are going to understand the quantitative findings in terms of number of COVID cases that prevailed during the pandemic with respect to various factors or variables, such as the impact of lockdown periods, the relaxations given thereafter, the efficacy study of vaccines, and its impact on the number of cases. In this session, Professor Sandeep Juneja will be interviewed by Mr. Neeraj Pandit, the special correspondent, Maharashtra Times. In order to introduce Neeraj briefly, well, he has done post-graduation in commerce, holds a diploma in communication and journalism, has a working experience at various levels with prominent newspaper publications, and is currently working with Maharashtra Times. He has handled reporting in the field of education, technology, telecom, lifestyle, startups, and on career opportunities. He has authored a book and has been felicitated for his reporting work in his profession. Mr. Neeraj would be interviewing Professor Sandeep Juneja. We are indeed very, very fortunate to have amidst us Professor Sandeep Juneja, who would explain the quantitative aspects about the pandemic. It's a great privilege to introduce Professor Sandeep Juneja, a distinguished, eminent data scientist. He is currently the Dean at the School of Technology and Computer Science in Tata Institute of Fundamental Research in Mumbai. He has a very illustrious professional career with several achievements and accolades to his credits. Due to the paucity of time, I need to be brief. He has done his BTech in Mechanical Engineering from IIT Delhi, MSc Statistics and PhD in Operations Research, both from Stanford University. He has had corporate experience before joining academics, worked for a financial credit insurance company, the American Credit Indemnity in Baltimore, followed by a year-long stint in Anderson Consulting in India. He held several visiting and adjunct academic positions at various institutions. He has several publications to his credit and is also a recipient of several awards and recognitions. Also, he has 3 patents to his credit. He is recognized as a PhD guide and is also a mentor to many postdoctoral fellows. Has extended consultancy services to various research labs and financial firms. He has taught financial mathematics to quantitative associates of many leading multinational investment banks in India. His research interests lie in applied probability, including sequential learning, mathematical finance, Monte Carlo methods, and game theoretic analysis of cues. Lately, he has been involved in mathematical modeling for COVID-19 spread in Mumbai. It will be very interesting to understand the COVID scenario from a quantitative perspective via usage of mathematical modeling. I now request Neeraj Pandit to take over and proceed with the interview.
नमस्कार. धन्यवाद फडणीस मॅडम. सर्वप्रथम मी एक महाराष्ट्र टाइम्स हे मराठी वृत्तपत्र आहे, तरी देखील संदीप जुनेजा सर हे मराठी समजू शकत असले तरी ते मराठी बोलू शकत नाही. त्यामुळे आजचा हा आपण कार्यक्रम इंग्रजीमधून करतो आहोत. इंग्रजी हिंदी असा मिश्र भाषा ही असेल. तर आपण कार्यक्रमाला सुरुवात करूया. तत्पूर्वी एक सूचना, तुमचे जे काही प्रश्न असतील ते तुम्ही इकडे कमेंट बॉक्समध्ये विचारू शकतात. तेही आपण या कार्यक्रमादरम्यान विचारात घेऊया. Hello all, I am very thankful to Vigyan Bharati to give me this opportunity to interact with Sandeep Juneja sir. So nowadays data is the oil. This term is widely used of many of us in our day-to-day life, as we have come across and discussions on the data, how it's gaining importance in today's world. But do we all know the importance gained when this data goes beyond the raw format? It is most valuable when the process of gathering data, its accuracy, timing, and connecting it with other relevant data comes together. During this difficult time of pandemic, we all have been introduced to the effectiveness of data science and its importance in tackling many real-time issues. Let's know more of this much relevant topic from the expert in this field, Mr. Juneja sir. I welcome Mr. Sandeep Juneja.
Thank you, Mr. Pandit.
Yeah.
Very happy to be here.
Yeah. Hello, sir. So, sir, all these 2 years, almost 2 years, 1.5 years. So, you all are scientists working with this data and guiding government how to unlock India. So, my basic and first question. So, when India will be the mask free?
Yeah, I mean, let me just say this, that so your question is, when will the disease become so negligible that we don't have to worry about infecting each other and go on us? Let us wait a while for that. Let's not be in a hurry on this. Things are calming down for the country. It's a very good situation. So let's hope that continues. But let's continue to be protective and wear masks. There are cases here and there. What we have to be careful about, in making projections. Last year, we all thought around maybe November, December, that we are very nearing the end of the pandemic.
Yeah,
that was the general feeling.
Yeah.
But then we got completely surprised by the Delta variant.
Yeah.
So, this virus, it's a war we are at with this virus. And this virus can be tricky, so we have to be prepared for that. So let's keep the masks on for now until things calm down substantially further and until we have vaccinated a lot more of our population.
Yeah. Sir, your basic research area is simulation and modeling.
Okay.
So we will interested to know how you can come up with the method of mapping Mumbai city, because you've done a lot of work about the Mumbai city and you guided the Mumbai Mahanagarpalika to how to unlock the cities. And in this answer, we expect when total whole Mumbai will be unlocked.
Right. So you want me to first talk about when the whole Mumbai will be unlocked, or do you want me to tell the viewers something about the model itself? What would you prefer?
Better when we will be unlocked. Start with when we will be unlocked.
So our suggestion is, and I think, by and large, that's the thinking that government also has, that to the extent possible, because there's a lot of hardship to the people. So obviously there's a need to unlock. A lot of people want to get back to their work. A lot of people not be able to work. So there's a need to unlock. That I guess everybody understands. The fear is that if you suddenly unlock too fast and there's a lot of intermixing. Now suppose there is a new variant that is lingering around. Just like Delta variant was lingering around in November, December. It took off because we opened up in a big way. So now you open up in a big way, you have people meeting in trains, you have people meeting everywhere, you have these super spreader events, and suddenly a new variant that we don't understand comes up, which does not respect the immunity that we got from prior infection or from the vaccines. So those are worries for us. That's why we want to open up gradually, keeping an eye on the ground. If it looks like that, this was a chance event, it may not happen. We may not come across a variant which is going to be very worrying. So when we go up gradually and we see that the numbers continue to be small, we further open up. So to answer your question, the good scenario can be that we've opened up already. Let's wait another week. Things look okay. They don't seem to be getting worse. We open up gradually more. Let's see what happens then. And, that's how we proceed. So hopefully in a matter of months, things should be much, much better.
Yeah. Okay. So now you can tell something about the modeling, how you all work on this.
Yeah. So, there are, what is a mathematical model? That's probably comes, the data feeds into it, but people should know what a mathematical model is. It goes back to physics. We make underlying assumptions about how people are going to meet with each other, how the disease spreads when people meet. We make very precise mathematical assumptions, and then we make a deduction based upon that mathematical model. What will those assumptions tell us about the mathematical model? Now, let me tell you something about the model that we built for Mumbai. And this we kind of took because epidemiology is a big field, and there was a gang of people scientists in Cambridge working, Neil Ferguson and gang. I use the word gang, but I mean a group of scientists who came up with these projections for UK and US last year, where they predicted that millions of people could could result, millions of fatalities could result, and that got the whole world worried. Now, for us, this was not our main area. We're not epidemiologists. We do mathematical modeling, but it occurred to us that mathematical modeling we can also do for Mumbai. Now, to come to your question, how do we model Mumbai? In a computer, we create a synthetic city with about 13 million people, which will be living in 24 wards, which will be having in each ward slums exactly as we have slums in Mumbai, non-slums exactly as we have non-slums in Mumbai. Household distribution will be more or less as per the census data. People will be going to workplaces as they do in Mumbai. People will be traveling by train as they do in Mumbai, by and large. So we try to create a real city, and then we let people interact with each other at home, at workplaces, in communities, in trains. And, we start the city with certain amount of infection. We say on February 2020, there were few people who were infected in the city. How do we come up with this number? Because this is a number which explains what we saw in Mumbai in March and April last year. So we set up our model so that we are matching Mumbai at that time. And then we put in rules like, okay, how compliant are people? How many people are actually wearing masks? How many people are following rules? So we have Google mobility data, which is telling us what the mobility of people is from a variety of these sources. And then we have this Mumbai Sero survey, which completely surprised the city, right? Which surprised the whole world. Nobody thought that slums would show 56% of positivity at that time, July 2020. Non-slums will be only 50%. With all of these things, we build a model, and then we let in that model people engage with each other, they travel, they meet. If somebody is infected, they infect some other person gets infected, they stay asymptomatic for a few days, they may become symptomatic, a fraction of them may become hospitalized. If they're elderly, the chance becomes larger, so on and so forth. So it's all of those details. The upshot is we get a fairly good, realistic picture of how the city will evolve, how the disease will evolve.
Yeah. So right now you mentioned about the Sero study. So we, as a media person, we write about the Sero study. This Sero study has happened, and this shows us such type of result. So what is exactly that Sero study? How how to understand this COVID-19 disease? How it helps to understand COVID-19 disease?
Right. So in Sero survey, let me just describe what happened in July 2020. So we went to 3 wards. So TFR was involved with BMC. We went to 3 wards. We randomly sampled people in slums and non-slum. If person has been infected at some point till that time, typically they would have developed antibodies in reaction to the infection. Now this Sero survey will catch those antibodies. So you'll be able to figure out what fraction of people have been infected, what fraction of elderly people have been infected, what fraction of younger people have been infected. It gives you a picture of how the disease has spread so far in the city. So that's the Sero survey. I can tell you some more that, now once you have that information, it tells you, okay, by July 2020, you have 56% of slums infected, 15% of non-slum infected, broadly that much. We also know how the infection started in Mumbai. We know how the fatalities happened early on, when the disease was rampant. Now, with that, we plug it in a model and we see, for example, that on February 1st, we expect about 65% of Mumbai to have been infected already. Now, infected doesn't mean that everybody had symptoms. Many of us maybe had a cold for a day or two, didn't notice it, and didn't realize that we had already had COVID. When the Sero survey is done, suddenly we turn out to be positive. And then there are a fraction of us who, have severe symptoms. We get tested when we are reported as positive, etc. But in any case, in February, we see about 65% of Mumbai is infected. This is start of the second wave. About 50% of non-slums and about 80% of slums. Now, so there's still a substantial population which is not infected. Now, on this population, you let loose Delta variant, which is much more infectious than the previous virus that we had. And suddenly you see that, people who earlier could get in touch with each other without infecting each other, now it just runs through them. So a lot more infection happens. First in Mumbai, and probably through Mumbai and Maharashtra, it went to other cities. So you saw enormous amount of infection in Delhi, in Bangalore, all over India. So
Okay. So थोड़ा अभी बीच में हिंदी में बात करता हूँ, so the people can relate this. सर ये अभी हमेशा ऐसे दिखता है कि एक साइंटिफिक मॉडल सामने आता है, तो 2 दिन के बाद दूसरा मॉडल सामने आता है. ये मॉडल ये बोलता है कि वी आर नॉट, ऐसे नहीं होगा आगे, ये पेंडेमिक अभी नवंबर तक खत्म हो जाएगा. दूसरा मॉडल 2 दिन के बाद बोलता है इट विल मे कंटिन्यू टिल नेक्स्ट नवंबर. सो एक आम आदमी इसके ऊपर कैसे बिलीव करे, और आप इसके बारे में आपकी क्या राय, आप क्या बताना चाहते?
नहीं, अच्छा तो ये है कि इतना ज्यादा विश्वास ना करें मैथमेटिकल मॉडल्स पर. स्केप्टिसिज्म रखना अच्छा है इन चीजों में, क्योंकि मैथमेटिकल मॉडल्स में अजम्पशंस होती हैं, और अजम्पशंस अगर तुम गलत बनाओगे तो कॉन्सिक्वेंसेस भी गलत होते हैं. तो आम आदमी को चाहिए कि सुन ले और ठीक है ऐसा हो सकता है, ऐसा विचार रखे, पर इतना पूरा विश्वास भी ना करे. अब मैं इसी में आपसे बताता हूँ कि क्योंकि हमारी अपनी समझ भी पड़ी है ओवर टाइम. पिछले साल से हमने जब अक्टूबर में हमने फोरकास्ट किया, तब हमने अज्यूम नहीं किया कि डेल्टा वेरिएंट हो सकता है, क्योंकि ऐसा कहीं से भी लग नहीं रहा था कि डेल्टा वेरिएंट के होने के चांस है वर्ल्ड वाइड कहीं भी, और वर्ल्ड वाइड कोई भी ऐसे एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर रहा था. तो उस हिसाब से हमने प्रोजेक्शंस किए और हमें लगा कि ओके जनवरी तक शांत हो जाएंगे, फरवरी में भी और भी चीजें शांत हो जाएंगी, और ऐसा हुआ भी. और सडनली उसके बाद डेल्टा वेरिएंट आ गया. तो हमने कहा था कि चलिए आप ट्रेन चालू करेंगे तो कुछ केसेस बढ़ेंगे, थोड़ी पीक होगी छोटी, पर एक्चुअली जो पीक थी वो काफी बड़ी थी उससे ज्यादा। पर मतलब मैं इसका आपको ये कहना चाहता हूँ इसके साथ कि कुछ चीजें मैथमेटिकल मॉडल्स नहीं कैप्चर कर सकते।
ये so you was the first who said that Mumbai should open.
We gave a roadmap of how it should open, and we said when you open the train, there will be peaks of this sort. But when the Delta variant came, then our calculations and everybody's calculation worldwide went haywire. तो मैं इसलिए कह रहा हूँ कि इसलिए हम कुछ बातें आप पहले अज्यूम नहीं कर सकते अपने मैथमेटिकल मॉडल में। जब अजम्पशंस खराब होगी तो फिर प्रोजेक्शन भी खराब होगी। तो इसलिए हमने क्या सीखा उसके बाद हमने सीखा, और काफी लोगों ने ये सीखा है कि एक सीधी प्रोजेक्शन मत करो, क्योंकि हमें अब ये नहीं मानो अच्छी तरह से कि सितंबर में क्या होगा, नवंबर में क्या होगा, आगे चल के क्या होगा। हम सिनेरियो एनालिसिस करते हैं। सिनेरियो एनालिसिस में करते हैं, बाई चांस अगर एक वेरिएंट आ जाए नया, हमको नहीं मालूम आएगा कि नहीं आएगा। ये कहना कि 50% चांस है, 25% चांस है, हम ये भी नहीं कह सकते, हम इतना भी नहीं मालूम। पर अगर आ जाए तो क्या होगा, अगर नहीं आए तो क्या होगा, अगर री इन्फेक्शन बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ जाए, क्योंकि अभी तक हम सोचते हैं कि 80% मुंबई को तकरीबन इन्फेक्शन हो चुकी है, मतलब 80% लोगों को कुछ ना कुछ प्रोटेक्शन है। पर अगर ऐसा वेरिएंट आता है कि जो उस प्रोटेक्शन को नहीं रिस्पेक्ट करता, तो आपको फिर भी इन्फेक्शन हो सकती है, तो फिर बहुत ज्यादा नंबर बढ़ सकते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा केस हो सकते हैं। अगर ऐसा हो तो क्या लगेगा। तो उस तरह से हम सिनेरियो एनालिसिस करते हैं ताकि पिक्चर दिमाग में क्लियर हो जाए कि अगर ये हो तो फिर ये इतना मेडिकल रिसोर्सेज हमें चाहिए होंगे। अगर नहीं होता कुछ ऐसा, अगर कोई नया वेरिएंट, खतरनाक वेरिएंट नहीं आता, अगर हमारी जो इम्यूनिटी है वो रहती है, तो हमारी प्रोजेक्शन है, और काफी लोगों की प्रोजेक्शन है कि ज्यादा केसेस हम नहीं देखेंगे, छोटी सी पीक देखेंगे, और अगर हम वैक्सीनेशन चालू रखें और तेजी से चालू रखें तो वो पीक भी कम ही रहेगी। तो ये हमारी सोच है, पर ये सोच काफी मैथमेटिशियंस की अभी आगे चलकर है। ये मतलब बड़ा आंसर था आपके सवाल के लिए, पर छोटा आंसर यही है कि मतलब एकदम ब्लाइंडली विश्वास कभी भी किसी चीज पे नहीं करना चाहिए।
So sir, basically, so TIFR, how come TIFR connected with the BMC for this type of study? So is there was any incident, or you approached the BMC or BMC approached you? So how this bonding has happened, because we never see this such type of combination.
No, these combinations. No, we were in touch with BMC, and we are in touch with Maharashtra government.
Yeah,
I won't take any names, but there are some, very kind of well-wishing bureaucrats, administrators, politicians who want to see, more interaction between academia and the government, and this happens worldwide. ऐसा तो होना चाहिए ही, क्यों नहीं हो, हर जगह होना चाहिए, ज्यादा होना चाहिए। तो उनके थ्रू ये कोशिश शुरू हुई बैकग्राउंड में कि सेरो सर्वे मुंबई में भी की जाए, क्योंकि सेरो सर्वे काफी जगह हो रही थी दुनिया में, हिंदुस्तान में नहीं हो रही थी। तो अगर सेरो सर्वे आप कर रहे हैं तो TFR को लाना अच्छा था, क्योंकि हमारे पास थोड़ी एक्सपर्टीज है, थोड़ी बायोलॉजिकल एक्सपर्टीज भी है, थोड़ी स्टैटिस्टिकल एक्सपर्टीज भी है, और BMC का भी बीच में होना जरूरी है, क्योंकि आप लोगों जनता के पास जाएंगे, जनता को आप रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि आपको ब्लड देना है, टेस्ट होगा, उनकी काफी शंकाएं होती हैं, उनको आप एड्रेस करेंगे, तो BMC का भी साथ होना जरूरी है। और BMC वाज वेरी सपोर्टिव। सो जनरली व्हाट वाज, इसमें बहुत अच्छी बात ये थी कि ये क्राइसिस का टाइम था, और काफी अलग अलग लोग इकट्ठे आए थे। ये सब भी नहीं, प्राइवेट डोनर्स भी थे, प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस भी थी, NGOs भी थे, और सब बहुत सपोर्टिव थे, सब बहुत विलिंग थे, जो कि 12 घंटे अगर काम करना हो, 7 दिन, तो सब तैयार थे। तो हम सब मिलके इससे करने में तभी ये हुआ था काम।
सर बेसिकली ऐसे एक कॉमन अंडरस्टैंडिंग है कि साइंटिस्ट जो रिसर्च करते हैं वो थ्योरेटिकल बेस रहते हैं, और वो वहीं पे लैब में ही रहते। So how your research background, you are in data science in very long time. So how your research background help you to contribute this study? तो ये जो theoretical जो लैब में था वो पब्लिक में कैसे अपीयर हुआ, उसका एक अब बताइए कि वो कैसे आपको हेल्प हुआ?
ये हुआ है, और ज्यादा होना चाहिए, और हिंदुस्तान में शायद इतना नहीं होता, पर कम से कम UK में और अमेरिका में काफी होता है, तो सरप्राइजिंग बात नहीं है। एकेडमिक्स एंगेज मोर विद द सोसाइटी, By and large, they do also, but yeah, more of this should happen. But coming to data science per se, data science is all about solving problems for the society. Now, my own area is operations research. ये भी एक काफी कॉमन एरिया है, डेटा साइंस लिंक्ड है. अब ये इसका बर्थ ही हुआ था वर्ल्ड वॉर के टाइम पे, कि जब आप प्लानिंग कर रहे थे रिसोर्सेज के, कि मिलिट्री को कहाँ डिप्लॉय किए जाए, वेपन्स को कहाँ डिप्लॉय किया जाए, राशनिंग कैसे की जाए, वगैरह वगैरह. जब भी आपको डिसीजन बनाने पड़ते हैं जिंदगी में ऑन अ लार्ज स्केल, जैसे गवर्नमेंट को सोचना पड़ता है कि रोड्स कहाँ पे कंस्ट्रक्ट किए जाए, वाटर की कैसे मैनेजमेंट किया जाए, एयरलाइंस को सोचना पड़ता है कि हमें राउटिंग कैसे जाए, ये डिसीजंस आप तजुर्बे से सिर्फ नहीं कर सकते, मैथमेटिक्स की जरूरत पड़ती है आपको. तो अभी भी अगर आप जैसे देखें, एग्जांपल मैं आपके तौर पे बताता हूँ, अमेरिका में जैसे एक टाइम पे वो 40,000 एयरप्लेन्स टेक ऑफ करते हैं हर रोज. अब ये देखना कि कितने प्लेन्स कहाँ से शुरू हो, किस साइज के हो, कितने किस तरह की सीट्स हो, वहां पे कहाँ जाए, ये सब मैथमेटिक्स के बिना आप नहीं कर सकते. तो बहुत सारी ऐसी चीजें हैं रियल लाइफ में डिसीजन मेकिंग में जहां मैथमेटिक्स की बहुत जरूरत है. और चूंकि अब डेटा हमारे पास बहुत ज्यादा है पहले से, तो ना केवल हम मैथमेटिकल मॉडल बना सकते हैं, पर मैथमेटिकल मॉडल में जो पैरामीटर्स जो हम डालते हैं, कि अंडरलाइंग मैथमेटिकल मॉडल के जो जो डिस्क्राइब करता है क्या एग्जैक्टली मैथमेटिकल क्या है, उसके लिए अब हमारे पास डेटा है तो हम बहुत कुछ कर सकते हैं आगे चल के.
Okay. Sir, this mathematical model is worldwide same, or it is depend upon the country to location to location? What is exactly that?
No, it depends on location to location. अब हमने मुंबई को देखा, हमने देखा कि स्लम्स के लिए हमें अलग मॉडल चाहिए, नॉन स्लम्स के लिए अलग मॉडल चाहिए. अब मुंबई ने बहुत अच्छी कंटेनमेंट एफर्ट की थी लास्ट ईयर, मई जून जुलाई में कंटेन करते थे, तो उसको कैसे मैथमेटिकली मॉडल किया जाए, जो कॉन्टैक्ट ट्रेसिंग जो हम कर रहे थे यहाँ पे उसको कैसे मॉडल किया जाए. तो हर चीज हमें ग्राउंड पे जो हो रहा है उस हिसाब से हमने मॉडलिंग की थी. तो ब्रॉडली ठीक है, ये मॉन्टे कार्लो सिमुलेशन लोग करते हैं, तो इंस्पिरेशन हमने ले ली कि फ्रांस में भी हो रहा है, यूके में भी हो रहा है, पर काफी हमने टेलर मेड करना पड़ता है हिंदुस्तान के लिए और खास करके मुंबई के लिए.
बराबर. सर, ये मैथमेटिक्स के बारे में आप बहुत बोल रहे हैं, लोगों को, बच्चों के मन में मैथमेटिक्स के बारे में डर बैठा रहता है. तो ये जो मैथमेटिकल मॉडल है, तो ये और ये जो सब मैथमेटिक्स के ऊपर सब डिपेंड है, तो ये थोड़ा आप सिंप्लीफाई करके थोड़ा अगर ज्यादा देर में बता सकते हैं कि ये मॉडलिंग कैसे होता है, कैसे डिसाइड किया जाता है, उसके बारे में कैसे डिस्कशंस होते हैं आपके यहाँ, फिर मॉडल्स एक कैसे बनता है, और ये जो अपना स्टडी में जो मैथमेटिक्स है उससे रिलेटेड में इसके बारे में कुछ है. सो इट विल बी रियली हेल्पफुल फॉर द स्टूडेंट हु इज वाचिंग दिस वेबिनार.
तो वैसे तो ये है कि अब है दुनिया भर में लाखों लोग हैं जो मैथमेटिकल मॉडलिंग करते हैं, तो एक विजडम तो बन ही गया है कि किस तरह के मॉडल किस तरह की प्रॉब्लम के लिए हमें चाहिए. तो इसलिए नए सिरे से हर बार नहीं सोचना पड़ता कि कौन सा मॉडल यूज किया जाए किस सिचुएशन में. जैसे अब कोविड सिचुएशन है तो हमें मालूम है कि 2-4 अप्रोचेस हैं. एक होते हैं ये कुछ पार्शियल डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन, ऑर्डिनरी डिफरेंशियल इक्वेशन, कुछ लोग शायद समझते हो इन चीज़ों को. यहाँ पे जो मॉडल्स आप सुनते हैं, हिंदुस्तान के जो भी मॉडल्स हैं या जो वर्ल्ड वाइड मॉडल्स हैं, ये काफ़ी यूज़ किए जाते हैं. ये थोड़े हैं कि बड़े स्केल पे मॉडल हैं जो कि बड़े ट्रेंड्स बताते हैं कि क्या हो सकता है अक्टूबर में, नवंबर में. एक्यूरेसी थोड़ी उनका कुछ कह नहीं सकते. जो हमने मॉडल किया था मुंबई के लिए वो बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल मॉडल था. तो ये हमारे पास चॉइसेस होती है, या तो हम कुछ एग्रीगेट बड़ा सा मॉडल ले लें, या डिटेल मॉडल लें जो कि एक एक पर्सन के लेवल पे मॉडल करे कि मूवमेंट क्या हो रही है. उसका फायदा ये होता है जो हमने चॉइस की, और ये भी ऐसी हमने चॉइस की कि इस तरह के मॉडल्स भी यूज किए जाते हैं एपिडेमियोलॉजी में भी, इकोनॉमिक्स में भी, काफ़ी पॉपुलेशन एवोल्यूशन के बारे में भी, तो काफ़ी एरियाज में यूज़ किए जाते हैं. तो हमने क्यों इसको यूज़ किया, क्योंकि इससे बहुत डिटेल में बहुत ज़्यादा एक्यूरेसी आप बिल्ड कर सकते हैं. तो जहाँ तक अगर आप हमारी रिपोर्ट्स देखें, डेल्टा वेरिएंट को अगर आप छोड़ दें तो बाय एंड लार्ज हमारे मॉडल्स काफ़ी अच्छे रहे हैं प्रेडिक्शन करने के लिए, और वो इसलिए बहुत डिटेल मॉडलिंग थी. बाकी आपके स्टूडेंट्स के बारे में को मैं एग्जांपल दूं, अब कैसे आप मॉडलिंग होती है, तो सोचिए, समझिए आप जा रहे हैं वैक्सीनेशन करवाने के लिए एक हॉस्पिटल में। अब आपको चिंता है कि मैं जाऊंगा तो लाइन में मुझे कितना इंतजार करना पड़ेगा, कुछ आधा घंटा इंतजार करना पड़ेगा, 2 घंटा इंतजार करना पड़ेगा, 5 मिनट इंतजार करना पड़ेगा। तो ये कैसे, और एक तो आप सोच रहे हैं, और एक जो प्लान कर रहा है वो वैक्सीनेशन सेंटर, वो सोच रहा है कि मैं किस तरह से डिजाइन करूं, क्योंकि मुझे नर्सेस चाहिए जो इंजेक्शन देंगे, एक रखूं या 5 हो या 15 हो। तो उसके दिमाग में भी ये चल रहा है कि लोगों को ज्यादा दिक्कत ना हो, कोई आधे घंटे से ज्यादा इंतजार ना करे। तो वो कैसे मैथमेटिक्स यूज करेंगे इस डिसीजन बनाने के लिए? या वही चीज अगर आप सोच लीजिए, अगर आप बैंक मैनेजर हैं, आपको सोचना है कि कितने में टेलर्स रखा जाए ताकि जो लोग मेरे बैंक में आ रहे हैं उनको 5 या 10 मिनट ज्यादा ना इंतजार करना पड़े। तो अब कैसे सोचा जाए मैथमेटिक्स इस बात को, ये आपका सवाल है। तो सोचना ये पड़ेगा कि उनको एक मॉडल चाहिए कि लोग बैंक में आ किस तरह से रहे हैं, है ना, और अगर आ रहे हैं तो सर्विस अगर हो रही है तो कितना टाइम लगा रहे हैं। तो अब आने के बारे में अगर आप सोचा जाए तो देखा जाए कि एक आदमी अगर एक टाइम पे आया है और दूसरा आदमी 2 मिनट बाद आया है, उसके बाद आदमी 5 मिनट बाद आया है, उसके बाद 7 मिनट बाद आया है, तो ये 2, 5, 3, 4, 7 इन सब को कैसे कैप्चर किया जाए? तो प्रोबेबिलिटी यूज इस्तेमाल करते हैं हम, प्रोबेबिलिटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फिट करते हैं इसके। और अब सर्विस ऐसे हो रही है, किसी की 2 मिनट सर्विस हुई, किसी की 5 मिनट सर्विस हुई, तो इसमें भी प्रोबेबिलिटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन इस्तेमाल करते हैं। तो मतलब आप डेटा कलेक्ट करेंगे काफी टाइम तक, और उस डेटा के बेस पे आप प्रोबेबिलिटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन फिट करेंगे। प्रोबेबिलिटी डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन क्या है? वो आपको बता रही है कि मुझे ये नहीं मालूम कि अगला आदमी कब आएगा, पर मुझे ये मालूम है कि 25% मुझे अनुमान है कि 4 मिनट में आएगा, 10% अनुमान है कि 10 मिनट में आएगा, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ। तो इस तरह से मैथमेटिकल मॉडलिंग होती है। बाकी तो बहुत लंबी डिस्कशन हो जाएगी, पर कुछ आइडिया आपको मेरे साथ।
Yes, it's a very simple way you explained it. Sir, ये जो अभी तक आपने जो बोला, so we understand that data is important to make a model, to do a modeling. So we heard there was some reservation from the scientific community that government is not supporting or not giving much data, whatever they required. So is that true, and what's your say on this?
This I want to say very strongly. Why do we do this? We are government servants. We are public money is paying our salary. We should do everything which is in public's interest. इसमें कोई दो राय है नहीं, इसमें कभी दो बार हमें सोचने की जरूरत चाहिए नहीं हमें। और हम भी गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट हैं, और जो गवर्नमेंट जो डेटा कलेक्ट कर रही है वो भी गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट है। उनकी जिम्मेदारी है कि जो डेटा जिससे पब्लिक को मदद मिले, वो डेटा पब्लिक को, साइंटिफिक इंस्टीट्यूशन को दिया जाए। क्यों किस बात से डर रहे हैं? वो कोई डरने की बात नहीं है इसमें। हम सब अपनी तरफ से मेहनत कर रहे हैं। गवर्नमेंट ऑफिस में लोग बहुत ज्यादा मेहनत कर रहे हैं कोविड के टाइम पे। डेटा अगर बाहर आएगा तो हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग बढ़ेगी, लाइव्स हम बचा सकते हैं फ्यूचर में। तो उसको छुपाने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। और अगर बाई चांस कुछ लोगों में डर है कि शायद हम बुरे लगे हैं अगर डेटा आ गया, पब्लिक को चाहिए कि प्रेशर बनाए कि हर गवर्नमेंट इंस्टीट्यूशन को डेटा देना चाहिए, क्योंकि हम सब गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट्स हैं, ये हमारी जिम्मेदारी है। तो ये बार बार कहना कि सिक्योरिटी रिस्क है या कोई और रिस्क है, अगर रिस्क है तो चलो बता दीजिए क्या रिस्क है, उसको हम लेट्स टेक केयर ऑफ दैट। बट आउटसाइड ऑफ दैट प्लीज डेटा सबको मिलना चाहिए। और थोड़ा कभी कभार ये इनर्शिया भी होता है कि बहुत ज्यादा हमें एफर्ट करनी पड़ेगी डेटा गैदर करने के लिए, हम आपको क्यों दे। तो ठीक है, आपके थ्रू मैं यही कह सकता हूँ कि थोड़ी सी अगर आप मेहनत करेंगे इसके लिए, कुछ कह नहीं सकते, बहुत ज्यादा फायदा हो सकता है। तो डेटा के बिना डेटा के हमें कुछ समझ नहीं है कि क्या हो रहा है क्या नहीं हो रहा। What you cannot measure, you cannot control. So we have to measure carefully. We need the data.
Yeah. Okay. So we are talking last half an hour. It's about the data. So nowadays, data science is a very much booming industry or booming word. Data science. Everyone know about the data science. So obviously, there will be some career opportunities. So can you highlight some career opportunities in the data science? How, if anyone can join to the data science? There may be some research institute or private organization. So how the student can go for the data science? And along with this, I have another question. Did we have such type of infrastructure or we need to improve such type of infrastructure? Because mathematics is a non-liking for the scientific community. So even Nobel is not included in mathematics. So you can highlight on this the opportunities in data science and the infrastructure, what we have and what we need to do.
No, I think India is in a very good situation for data science because we are a software power.
Yeah.
So we are collecting lot of data. We have the software IT industry which collects all the data. We have the soft power of mathematical ability to interpret data. There's enough scientific pool in India which knows how to interpret data, do statistics on it. So I think in India we are in no way behind, and we have the computational infrastructure available. You need now just to give you one example for a COVID model on the best computer, high performance computer, it takes 12 hours to run one simulation. So you need a lot of computational power to do data analysis. And in India, we have enough of that, and that's only going to grow. So the big message is everywhere data is being collected much more than before. Everywhere computational capability to make sense of interpret data is increasing, and that trend is going to continue. So if you're a student, that is the future. There is going to be data everywhere. There will be computation. So you should, to the extent possible, pick up computational skills, pick up statistical skills, so you know how to interpret data and draw conclusions from it. The future is going to be, decision making is going to be data driven. We know things, right? We know that autonomous vehicles look at the data all around them and decide how to travel, right? How to go without the driver. Planes can fly without pilots. Many things are going to happen because now we can take in a lot of data and we know how to process it. Now, so my advice to you is everybody should know some bit of data science, some bit of statistics, some bit of computer coding. There's no avoiding that, so that you must do. And if you have mathematical aptitude, then you've just been born in a very good time, because the world belongs in some sense to people who have strong mathematical ability, who can look at data, who can do coding, but who understand how to, because after a while, to really interpret data, you need the mathematical ability. You need the ability to abstract out patterns from the data. And that's going to be extremely important going forward. So I would encourage all the students to understand that, these are things which are needed. And if you have mathematical aptitude, most certainly you should pursue data science. You should pick up statistics. You should pick up computation, many other aspects that come with it. But it's a great world you're looking at going forward. Of course, I say with Cap that the world we are living in also is going to have extreme climate events. We'll have to somehow deal with that. But in terms of job opportunities, I think this is a great area.
Yeah. So in a daily manner, India is making some terabyte of data. So there was a question about the data securities. So we are working on this, or we are still dependent on the foreign countries? Is there India working on data security?
Right. So I think, in this, there is a broader point that you're making, and it certainly relates to security, that although we say we have a scientific pool, but it's certainly not really at the level where we can compete head on with the West or China and all these things. We need a bigger pool. We need a stronger pool. And these issues like cyber security, where there'll be cyber attacks coming in, so you need your own sophisticated, machinery to identify them, to fight them back, etc. I think we are weak there right now. I don't think we have enough people working on it. I think many more people are needed, much more investment is needed. So that's an area of concern for us.
Yeah. So sir, coming back to the pandemic situation,
Yes.
so what will your assumption saying that now we are hearing that the third wave is coming and it will be affected to the children's. So what is the mathematical model is saying on this?
I'll just say common sense to you, first of all. It's very difficult to predict third wave. Now, some things we can predict that, over time, as cases reduce, as people, as governments open up, the movements open up, cases will go up a little bit. That will happen across the nation. There are pockets where people have not been infected and you'll see some infection. That should be mild because a lot of the country has been infected. That should be mild, and that's a mild kind of. It's not even clear that one calls that a wave. And if vaccinations are going on, that should be a mild wave. What we don't know, and that's where one should not trust people saying that third wave will come in October or November. We don't really know how the variant is going to change, how the virus is going to change. We don't know that, and we can't say that it will change in 2 months or 4 months, or it will not change at all. So that we just have to, go day by day and see how things evolve. We really can't make a prediction on that right now. I think that's
so basically.
For the children. Now, up till now, our understanding is that by and large, the virus has not, when it infects people, it's not like it doesn't infect children. So children are more or less infected the same amount as everybody else. It's just that children are, have lesser symptoms, they suffer less. So they have severe disease, which is less. So that's why one should not worry so much about children. The only other issue is that while the above 18 population